So I'm going to take some time to be present with the new anatomy of your central nervous system. And I'm going to ask that you take 3 nice deep breaths, please. Just going to be present with the space because there's a new activation that wants to come through as it relates to this new awakening of new dimension of your central nervous system. It is my privilege and honor to be facilitating this experience, and ask that you allow yourself to be in the most relaxed state. And just know that greater healing will be taking place, activating more of the wholeness factor within you. The awakening of this new anatomy, it's a different dimension than the anatomy that you are accustomed to working with, your general knowledge of your human anatomy system. This is the system within the systems, the anatomy within the anatomy, and the central nervous system within the central nervous system. Deeper layers of well-being that require extraction and being brought forth. And sometimes when you're having certain challenges, it's just a call to a different dimension, and that the present anatomy is ready to not necessarily be surrendered in a sense, but is calling forth for support from other dimensions. So I'm going to take some time to be present so that I can receive the wisdom and insight for the activation of what needs to come forth. I'm excited because this means it's time for greater healing on levels that you just can't even wrap your mind around. Even just to wrap your mind around systems within systems, anatomy within anatomy, a central nervous system within a central nervous system, and then there's more than that. But the excitement is because of this entry level of awareness for you to know that any and everything that goes on with you is just a call to the greater expansion of who you are. And it's important as it relates to your central nervous system because that's the communication hub. And now the communication hub is calling on support from different dimensions of other communication hubs within you. It's one of the greatest gifts of the new anatomy. How we access optimum well-being. How we ultimately heal through this awareness. You know, the Bible says that people perish for a lack of knowledge, and when we don't have the knowledge of the fearfully and wonderfully made anatomy that we have in different dimensions, it's why we suffer. It's why so many transition earlier than they have to, because of the lack of awareness. And with our central nervous system, because we have to have that There's, during this time, the call to optimum functionality. And in order to actually have that optimum functionality within this new world that is emerging, we must call forth the new anatomy, the newer dimensions of the central nervous system. And that's what we want to be present with. Because when we tune into that aspect of us, then it becomes the more dominant force for our total well-being that starts to overtake anything that's going on in the anatomy that you're accustomed to. And so as this process is underway, I'm going to ask that you just be really present. And also do understand that even after this process, still continue to take care of your central nervous system the way that you had been. And if you haven't been taking care of it, I do have some recommendations in terms of what you can do to help up level and support your central nervous system, because even with new anatomy coming forth, it still has to be sustained and maintained. You still have to look up after your total well-being. Take a deep breath, please. So just give me a moment. I'm just going to be present. So there's a signature message that wants to come forth that will hit each of you individually, but collectively, it serves really the whole of humanity. Reason being because we're all connected. We are all united in a body, and in the Christian context, it is united is the body of Christ. All of humanity within that intention. And so you think about it, you are part of not just, your body itself, but you are a part of the body of humanity. And when you're taking care of yourself, you are taking care of that part of humanity. That is your role and responsibility in this human experience. You are part of the central nervous system of the whole. And it's important for you to operate and function at your highest level of well-being. So the communication factor right now as it relates to your central nervous system is that it's a call to be at peace. A call to be at peace. To be at peace, to know that all is well. If you're familiar with the hymnal, it is well with my soul, you can say that it is well with my central nervous system. It is well. And why is it well? It is well because we are aware that there's a source part of us, and within this new anatomy that's coming forth. We're aware of it, knowledgeable now, And now it's time to apply the knowledge in order for it to be powerful within our experience. So you've cultivated enough of this newness to now allow it to actually come forth in your experience. This is an extraction activation, is what I'm getting right now. And some of you have participated in other activations that I've done, even around the nervous system, and you've had your new anatomy extracted. And so what would be happening is that you would be experiencing a greater extraction, another level and dimension where someone who's just now hearing this will have their first layer of anatomy as it relates to their central nervous system extracted. So this is a very gentle process. It can be looked at also as remote healing in a sense. So you'll feel the frequencies and different cadence of that cultivation through my communication that's coming through. Take a deep breath, please. So in stimulating and triggering and extracting this new anatomy, your new central nervous system, the new communication that wants to come forth, that's vibrating through you now, that all is well, that you are at peace, peace of knowing the newness of who you are, newer context for newer communication, brain waves that are providing this more expansive activation of well-being, communicating this throughout your whole entire body. Making you aware of what's already there. Yeah, what's already there that you didn't know was there. Like, what? I have another system within me, another central nervous system. Yeah. And so now you don't have to rely so much on trying to overdo it to take care of your nervous system with taking things, doing techniques, things that you're probably finding don't work as well as maybe they used to, or as they've been portrayed to be. Now that you're aware of your new anatomy and your new nervous system, this new central nervous system, you can focus in on that. And that's exactly what we are going to do right now. So let's focus in on the peace of that dimension. That is the peace that surpasses all understanding, but brings you into the greater awareness of your truth, the truth of optimum living, the truth of this higher expression, source well-beingness. And that is the communication that comes forth now, transmitting source throughout all of your body. And that is the communication that's going forth, that your central nervous system is sending out that broadcast, putting every other system on alert, every cell and atom of your body is aware of the awakening of this new activation, bringing everything into calm, aligning with the peace of the higher intention of your total well-being. It's brand new frequency transmitting. You are a wellness radio tower of divine power, and that is the unique frequency that is going out. Let's be present even more with your new central nervous system. Take a deep breath, please. And at this time, I'm going to ask that you would be present and ask for any communication that you most need to know from this dimension of your central nervous system, if that communication and wisdom and insight will be revealed to you, so that we can activate that at a deeper level. Take a deep breath, please. I want you to focus on being fearfully and wonderfully made. The uniqueness of your anatomy, the uniqueness of your existence. Take a deep breath, please. Just be present in the space here. As you focus more on your new anatomy, the new communication factor of your central nervous system, and the messages that want to come forth, giving you wisdom and insight and recommendations on how to best support yourself moving forward in this new experience. Take a deep breath, please. Just feel yourself being re-engineered as that new anatomy comes forth and through to the anatomy in which you are accustomed to, and beginning to transform and evolve. That part of your anatomy as well. Everything you have experienced has served you up until now. But this new experience requires your new anatomy to come forth, and to come forth now. So let me just be present as I'm going to intentionally send out wholeness frequencies through my voice to transmit to you and to your cells that you find resonance with the newness that's trying to come forth. So at the sound of my voice, focus in on the wholeness, the truth of who you are, which is a whole being and divine expression here in an incarnated experience. Take a deep breath, please. And focus in on the cultivated wholeness. And as you're focusing in on that cultivation of wholeness, what do you get a sense of? What are you feeling? What are you knowing? What's the communication that's coming through from your central nervous system at your most familiar basis, but also the new anatomy? that's been coming forth. Take a deep breath, please. Now the wisdom that has come up for you, the insight, taking all of that and activating it. And I'm intentionally decoding all of the context around the messages that came up for you. And I send this out as the activation to recode your reality anew as you operate from this re-engineered central nervous system. That you vibrate well-being at all times, optimum living at all times. And aligning this activation with your highest well-being trajectory and template. And that's the communication that goes forth, being sent throughout all of your body during this time. Take a deep breath, please. Take a nice deep breath, another one, please. Thank you. So let's be present once more with the new communication factor. And now we've awakened and activated this at a higher level. Again, taking everything from this experience and the new knowledge of this system and the communication. Feel it go through your entire beingness and know that you are new. And that is the communication that goes forth throughout your entire body. And every other system within you is awake and aware to this new truth that is broadcasting throughout you. Re-engineering your interior and bringing forth a new demonstration in your external reality as the physical manifestation of your livelihood. Take a deep breath, please. Breathe again into that very deeply. Now this process is feeling complete. This activation will continue to ensue. It's very time release oriented. So you feel some of the benefits now, but you will continue to feel the expansiveness and the benefits over the next few days and weeks for sure. Be sure to go back through this audio again and allow this process to anchor even more deeply. Take a nice deep breath. Send thanks to your central nervous system. Give thanks to Source. Give thanks to your body. We are complete. Thank you.